It is only you and I who are truly alive. See, the rest of them, they do but sleep. It's enough to make you start to weep. Where they go, they know not where. Blind leading blind, leading blind, leading blind. Blind leading blind, leading blind, leading blind. And the loudspeaker at the airport gate cried, "It is only you and I who are truly alive." See, the rest of them, they do but sleep. It's enough to make you start to weep. Where they go, they know not where. Blind leading blind, leading blind, leading blind. The immensity of the action is a baby screaming out the window in London, and a woman in India bending over a green kerosene stove, making chapatis, as a man shines shoes and does somersaults in Soho, and the child who is squatting by the lakeshore unending as warm snapping turtles leap to the heavens, and an egret floats lazily up to a moon that is kissed on the crater that sparkles with Mars light, and the boy with the red string who wanders down hallways and streets filled with broken glass and dreams without stopping. And a drummer in Guinea who was born with 12 fingers and decided to walk through the savannah to catch a wildebeest that kneeled by the water and looked left for lions. And the girl who bled first on the cream-colored leaf of the banana tree that rose and blossomed at midday and drooped to the west where a cowboy sat reading poems of the steppe and the last train from Dallas, and the cow that was roped with a lonely lasso thrown by the hippie who sat smoking in Kathmandu, and read the Bardo and digested Lao Tzu, who said in 3000 that the yang is in each valley, and the professor who found that the books were reversed and sat on his secret until he could publish, never heeding the call of the lady in France who was bartered for a necklace of the finest gold filigree made by a man whose hands were scorched when Mrs. O'Leary kicked over the lantern and Chicago burned. As the cops went running down the street to the paddy wagon built by the sailor who skirted Cape Horn in the trades of December and froze in his hemp coat and ate 10 sardines that were caught off the coast of California in July by a boy with a net, who was the 5th of 10 children, and he liked to stare at the sun and wade in the water and the sea turtle that hauled herself out of the water to lay eggs on Galapagos, which were eaten by lizards stuck on Komodo, a fire-eating dragon that laughed at the volcano, which enclosed 3 lakes, one bluer than turquoise, another yellow with sulfur, and the third red with slag from the iron deposits struck into steel by the men from Pittsburgh, who went to the football game and called for 10 beers from the girl who climbed stairs. She lived down the alley and was surrounded by lilies that wound round her room and smelled of talcum dusting the girl. In the jungles of Indonesia after her mandi, her mom sprinkled it on her so she went out to play in the streets with her boyfriend and wore a new sarong, woven by a witch who lived in Uzbekistan, rode in a mortar and kicked it with a pestle she carved from pure marble out of the quarry owned by the lord of the fiefdom in China during the split from the north. When we packed our bags and headed down south, a train of 10 and a bottle of jade, carved by the Taoist blinded by mercury, and cinnabar powder prescribed by the apothecary who owned an old text written on a hemp leaf grown in Dali by the by.